So guys, Matrix I Zerbus is finally live on the global server, and lo and behold, it sucks as much as I thought it would. Boo! If you guys disagree already, I want to get this out of the way at the beginning. Let's talk about it in the comment section below. But TLDR, this content is impossible to engage with. The top players already, and these are the god players of the world, the number one player in the world is only getting 33% of the top chest. If we go to like the 50th players, they're not even getting 1/6. It's as big a mess as I thought it would be. I am very impressed by these couple players breaking 100K, but even if you just scroll down a bit, there's only, 12 players in the entire world that have broken 70K yet. So for perspective, when Apocalypse 2 came out and everyone was like, this is so hard, and people are using that as a reference, saying we all complained back then, players were getting 120K from the first week. Not many players, but these guys, the absolute cream of the crop, were. And normal players, or normal farther in the game players like me, especially when that came out, I still got 50K week 2. Right? And I was getting 120K within just a month or two. And that was all felt very reasonable and attainable, even though they power crept it like crazy with all the hero releases. For even more perspective, Abyss 1, which we all thought was insanely hard when it came out, the top scores from the first week were approaching 40K, which is nearly 2/3 of the top chests. This guy from Slayers, he's only 33% of the way there, and he is by a significant margin the top player. Well, I guess he's got these two guys right behind him, but you understand what I'm saying. This is ridiculous content. So to prove it, I've put a run together, and I want to thank Behemoth as well as Lewis and the other Forerunner guys for helping me with this strategy. There's not too much strategy here. Obviously, people are going to figure out more strategy, but this is just a mess of content. There's only so much you can do. But particularly, I want to thank them, and particularly Behemoth, with helping me with the optimal gearing.
Fastidious.
Fastidious.
I prepared that here on the test server. You can see this is the Fastidious account, and I've created a run where everybody but King Hearts is A5. In hindsight, I should have just made him A5 too, but I wanted to just throw together like the ultimate meta monsters run that I could think of, and that Behemoth and the other Forerunner guys could help me put together, right? So they've had a few weeks to whack away at this, and this is what the meta has been. We already see some nice strides, like this top team here from this guy. Actually, I'm just going to say Sandra because I can't say this name. It's including Carnelian. This one here is getting Carnelian and also Magda involved. This one has Magda, so that's a slight departure from what we did here, but we put together a pretty insane run. I will say, some of these guys on Global, like the guys in Mad and Slayers, actually have better gear than I have on my test server. Don't let that convince you the gear here isn't absolutely ridiculous. Here, for example, is my Valara, 122, almost 123,000 BP. Truly god gear. I mean, every stat perfectly refined. A ridiculous amount of time invested in recasting and refining all this stuff. I'll speak to that in just one moment. But every single unit is A5 except for King Hearts, and every unit is geared out in that same way. I mean, just look at this gear. It is next level. This is truly Ferrari style. This is the Meta Monster God comp. And what did I accomplish? We got 76,500 mech fragments. So that is less than 25% of the top score for the top chest, or the necessary score to earn the top chest at 320K. Yes, we'll, as a community, improve at these strats as we go. We'll refine and tweak things. Maybe we could see players rising up towards 150, 160, maybe getting close to halfway there. But as it stands now, it is entirely impossible to get 320K, and I'm going to prove it because I've created this run, and I'm going to show it to you. And I'm going to do one more thing. You can see this run here. We've got the Bulwark run and the Spellbane run. You get 2 attempts. One is for the version of Zerbus where you have to deal magic damage. That's Bulwark. And the other is for the version of the boss of Zerbus where you have to deal physical damage. And that is Spellbane. And you are hard stuck if you don't use Cyrus. You can only go so far. So I prepared, which I pre-filmed, a second run before I locked these in, where I used King Hearts instead of Cyrus. And wouldn't you know it, It's brutal. Even with the same comp. If you don't have Cyrus and his skeleton mechanic, your hands are very, very, very much tied. Pretty wacky stuff. And this right now, if you want more perspective, would be the number 11 score ever, right? It'd be the number 11 score on the global server, and all these guys are currently outpacing the Forerunner server. I actually don't know what's going on in the Asian server, the 6000s, to be fair. Sorry for the long prelude, but I just want to put things in perspective. You're going to have to scroll so far before you ever find a Bulwark comp that does not include Cyrus, a shockingly rare ancient exclusive legendary lord, and you basically need only meta heroes. They all need awakenings, and they need gear like this. Like if you thought my Valara was good on the test server, look at this Valara coming from the top team in the world. Look at these stats, look at these rolls, look at all the gems that have gone into everything. I mean, this is insanity. Look at this stuff. Completely ridiculous. Almost 127k BP on a Valara, A5 Valara. That is the standard that is set here. Let's check out this one. Truly insane stuff. And this is what it takes to not even get close to the top chest. One final thing I just want to repeat. Yes, we're all going to improve at this, but we're so far off on the release of this content than we've been with the release of any content in the history of Watcher of Realms. It can only make you think it's some big setup for them to very aggressively sell a solution and power creep all these units. And it's going to be almost impossible for them to release a unit that is able to take on this content without power creeping the rest of the game. You know, if there's a much, much better Virna, or a much better Honora, or a much better Demi, much better Cyrus, so on, much better Valara, those characters will also dominate many, many more parts of the game. You know, imagine a totally glowed up Ardia or Neza, right? Like, there's no way they can sell the solution for this content without power creeping all of the game, or huge, huge portions of Watcher of Realms. That's why I've been beating this drum for so long. That's why I am so concerned. So guys, without further ado, like I said, I pre-filmed this, so let's go ahead and watch it. It doesn't show Awakenings on the preview screen, but you can see this is exactly the team I used here. So I will show you everybody like this. But yeah, let me show you one more. Here's my Ingrid. I mean, 116k on this Ingrid. Look at these rolls. Truly ridiculous stuff, right? Very, very endgame, very, very optimized. Gems on absolutely everything. So let me show you that run. The final thing I want to explain before we do this is to create this level of comp that is still falling shockingly short as of now, and as of ever until many things change in this fight. It's an enormous investment in terms of both time and in-game resources. And the amount of farming and luck and everything that goes into this, I want to pop this open for you. So as I was getting everything set up to have these 20 units perfectly optimized to show you this completely decked out run, right, where everyone's A5 and all the gear is just shocking, right? To do this and get all these great rolls on everything, the amount of recasting, refining, the amount of gems, you know, every single artifact is perfect. I mean, look at this stuff. It's as good as we can basically get it. The amount of investment that required was this. I tracked it going through, and you can see it was 1.12 billion gold. More gold than most people have ever had on their accounts, unless they've been playing for a very long time, or they farm a ton. Completely ridiculous. It took 308 advanced gear recasting hammers. The only way you get these is by selling ancient gear. I haven't sold much ancient gear recently on my account. I don't even have a single one on my main account, which is very endgame. 401 advanced refining crystals. These are the purple ones. These are impossibly difficult to get. I did this all on the test server. That's how we could get to this level. 345 refining crystals. These are the green ones. 1,595 advanced augmentation gems. These are the special augmentation gems for your artifacts. It took 4,392 runic augment gems. Those are the red ones that add that extra stat. So like if we pop open Valara over here to get this plus 8% attack, getting the right stat we're looking for, attack bonus, and a high roll. In total, we consumed 4,392 of those, and then it was 741 Darkfall gems. The Darkfall gems are the red gems you use to get like these bonus stats added to your main stat. So plus 4.2%, plus 2.3%, so on and so on. There you go, plus 50. You get the picture. And we basically went through everything that we could to try to really max this stuff out. It's pretty crazy. So the only other recourse is to be an absolute Kraken god at this game who spends a ton of money, is a very good player, and farms nonstop. Like these guys, where naturally they've just farmed so much that they have better gear than the test server. But even still, I mean, look at this. The amount of refining, recasting, and everything that goes into this stuff is pretty crazy. It's all decked out. So without further ado, let's hop into this run. The Maserati run, the Ferrari run, whatever you want to call it. I'll show you the initial placements for everything just so there's a guide aspect to this. Hopefully that helps some people. But I gotta say, I think the vast majority of people cannot engage with this content at all. Not saying not get a good score. I'm saying getting even the lowest chess is going to be a pretty late endgame feat. So we're going to basically, you have your sides. There's the 2 portals they come out of. So we're developing this side here with Beatrix and Valara. We're getting our healers and stuff set up in the middle with Narissa and Elwyn. I've got my Ireless here. Now we're on our right side. We've got our off-faction Ingrid, who's A5, just like everyone else, and she's ridiculous. We've got this A5 Virna, and then here we've got our A5 Cyrus, and there goes our Nora. You want a good amount of crowd control. You need a great amount of boosting. It's just a ton of wackiness. We hit our Demi in the corner here, and you can just take it in and see. These guys come out, as you deal damage to them, you're dealing damage to Zerbus. Here comes the Focus Strike. And already, this is phase 0 or phase 1, however you want to call it. We can decide as a community, it's when you have 0 power-ups. But it's like the start of the battle. Here comes the Focus Strike on Cyrus, and it already hits him for 75k true damage. So that's damage that cannot be mitigated. Defense doesn't matter. Nothing matters. He's just going to take 75k damage. And that's before this guy has any power-ups at all. Cyrus is the best tank by a lot for this because of his skeletons. His skeletons absorb a ton of the damage, and that's like a very unique form of damage mitigation that can deal with the true damage. But basically, no one else can deal with that outside of shielders, but no shielder can ult fast enough for it to really matter. Because when those strikes come in, it's going to deal 5 ticks of damage over, I think it's about a 10.5 second period. So yeah, here we go. This is the vulnerable state. Now they send in the summons from the bottom. I think a lot of you guys might already be familiar with the content. You can just deal direct damage to them because dealing damage to them is also dealing damage to the boss. So it's not like we're going to unlock something as we've done in like Healer Codex where you just key in straight on the boss with the Silas or something. Or maybe you could think of like a Furious Torrent or something. Any damage they're taking, the boss is taking. And there's so many of them, you have to key in on them. And you can see, now we're on phase 1 or phase 2, however you think about it. I guess I'll just call it phase 0 now. This is phase 1. He's got 1 power up. And these guys are coming in. Here comes a Focus Strike. Let's get ready for that number. Here's Cyrus in the middle. So here I would be getting hit with a Focus Strike, but I kill him just in time. You'll see that big blast. Boom. So we don't get to see the Focus Strike there, but already I believe it'd be up to like 100k. Just crazy damage for any non-Cyrus tank to mitigate. It comes in tick after tick after tick, right? So you're getting 5 of those ticks, so it's a huge amount of damage. And even if you have Carnelian, she can only mitigate so much. You know, maybe one tick, maybe 2 ticks of the damage. So here comes in a bit more damage. So wrapping up phase 1 here, the second round. You can see we're at about 16k, and I point that out to say there's only so much damage you can deal per round in this fight. It's fixed. You know, it's not like, oh, you're going to unlock some new way to deal extra damage. It's like, no, these guys come out, you have to attack them, you kill them, they only have so much health, it's only so much damage. You know, it's impossible as it stands right now, even if you could last the whole fight and then you had everyone A10 or something. I don't know what A10 would be, but you know what I mean? Everyone could be even way stronger than they are now. There's just only so much damage you can deal so quickly in this fight. There's a fairly definitive ceiling on it. So even if you make it the whole, whatever, 7.5 minutes, you cannot deal 320k. And they know this at this point, right? We sent 2 detailed reports. I haven't spoke to other creators about this explicitly, but I'm sure they've complained about this, done their own reporting, sent in their own evidence to the devs. And the devs are choosing to do it this way because it really looks like we're about to get a new cultist mage and a new cultist lord, right? My speculations seem to have been confirmed very recently, if you haven't seen. So look around on Discord, but looks like they're fully, I mean, we know the big Northerner stuff, so that's probably gonna be for the physical side, the Spellbane one, so it looks like they're fully ready to just sell the solution and power creep our whole game. Here comes a Focus Strike, you're gonna see it now. Focusing on Cyrus. Boom, he got hit for 134, I wanna say it was. Let's see if we can see the damage again. I was blocked by all the healing. It also, you see that it's coming in at 53k. It's getting mitigated by the skeleton. But yeah, it was 130 something. And this is with Cyrus. This is with the king of it. You'll see this so clearly. After this, I'm going to show you the physical one. We'll speed it up a little bit more. Don't worry. I'll show you the physical one, and then I will show you. Then I'm going to show you this exact fight, but just using hearts instead of Cyrus. And you just you won't believe it. It's like your fate is completely predetermined in this content. So he's getting involved again. We'll fast forward a little bit. We're just passing 30k. Now it's like the 4th round. It's phase 3. He has three boosts now. We're sending in all that damage. The big AoE, we can tank it as long as Cyrus is there, and that's why Cyrus is so broken for this. Now it's another vulnerable state. These things last 30 seconds, so you have a decent amount of time to deal damage, but it's clearly not enough. And if you don't know, this is the second version of this boss. They did fix him after some initial reporting, and they actually made it harder to deal damage to him. It's harder to deal damage to Zerbus now than it was before. All right, let's go now to the 4th phase, 4 promos. 5th round, however you want to think of it. And look, we're still killing them, but we're getting overwhelmed, and this is with the absolute God Squad to end all God Squads. And even still, now it's getting really tricky. Most people would never, ever make it anywhere close to this point in the fight. Here comes a focus strike. Lining up all these heals. Wait for an Ellen burst. There's 190k. Cyrus just took 190k. Here, just 4 promotions in, still almost 3 minutes left in the fight. Any other tank would be dead once that comes in multiple times. Now he's coming in at 76. It's ridiculous. I decided we're going to show this whole one in full just because you can really get a sense of how absurd it all is. And then you kind of will get the picture for everything else. Here's another focus strike. If everyone else would already be dead, if it wasn't Cyrus, it is Cyrus. So this would be a chance for everyone else to die again. 140k there. A little mitigation, 190k. You can see it just pulses in and pulses in. 76k as it pulses with some mitigation. I'm excited for you guys to see this without Cyrus, because it's just ridiculous. So here you go, 46k, a number, if it stays exactly the fight is now, and we don't get any crazy new power creep heroes, this is a number I'd say 98% of you would never hit, full stop. And they 100% know that, and it's not even close to what you need. There we go. We're dealing this vulnerability style. Look how tanky these guys are now. You know, before we had our Ingrid and Virna and Demi really dealing with it. Now these guys are going to make it in, or they're just starting to. We can't deal nearly the damage we were able to deal before. And once again, even if we could deal all these guys, it's clearly not enough. Even if we finish them all in the vulnerability state, that's not enough to put us on track. Like, it's pretty linear. Not totally, but it's fairly linear, and there's a pretty clear ceiling on what you can do. So now we're on to phase 5. If you don't have Cyrus, you'll never see this in the current state of affairs. Up to 52k. Let's see this focus strike come in. Getting our wood elf down, and now Cyrus is already shot. We didn't have a skeleton up at the right time. That first thing always comes in with the full damage, and boom, Cyrus is shot. Now let's watch the run fall apart. Wipe. Done. Can't even make it to the end. And that 52k, that is nothing at all to sneeze at, right? We're putting up 52.6k there in the run I just did for you. And if I go over here, you're going to see 71k is the top Bulwark score. Doesn't take much scrolling to find, you know, where the Bulwark things come in. Here, we would be 10th or 11th. Actually, it's right where we said before. You know, this guy's a little higher, this guy's a little higher. It's all split between your Spellbane and your Bulwark. But like, this is so optimized. Like this guy right here, this is better than a test server account. I mean, this is some ridiculous stuff, and he hit the most definitive wall, and he might have even lived a little longer. There's not enough time in the fight. It's not possible. It's the most half-baked content in anything. I'm going to be honest. If it feels like I've been pissy, if you feel like I've been critical, I feel like they're just giving up on the game. They're just like, let's just put content out. We'll fix it when we have to fix it. They're thinking totally defective, worse than mediocre content is better than nothing, and I think that's insulting to the player base. Those are the results. Let me quickly show you the builds on everyone. We got 116k Demi. I'll click through every piece very quickly if you want to see everyone's max skill. Everyone's A5 except for Hearts. Let me just show him now. He's still in a completely nutty build in this Unshaken Will. This is actually in the run that's about to come, but I'll just get this out of the way now. Let me finish the rest of the Bulwark team, then I'll show you that Spellbane run. I mean, when was the last time you saw 109.6k Virna? You know, perfect cultist ring, perfect Virna exclusive bangle. I mean, ridiculous stuff. Look at this Honora. Everyone's maxed out. I mean, 13.7% on that attack bonus. The investment that goes into this just to fall so shockingly short is absurdity. This Beatrix here, going to be the strongest Beatrix most people have ever seen. I mean, we got the rage regen through the roof so we can spam that ult and have those summons flying around the map. Completely wacky stuff. I mean, look at this. Crazy. We got the extra speed on our Ingrid and almost an extra 1,000 attack from the augments. Darkfall on everything. I cranked this to 11, man. And we would need to crank it to 40 or something. It's crazy. Look at this Cyrus. He's got the extra rage regen. He's spamming on everything. Rage regen rolls on everything. I mean, look at this. Look at this. Almost 100% rage regen just from gear. Not counting the boost from the Astral. Not counting the Pantheon, which is maxed out. I mean, ridiculous. Almost 8k defense, which is useless in this fight because the big hits are true damage. Almost 130k HP. He's got his skeletons, and the run still fell apart at the end. I mean, crazy. Everyone's in Wings of Grace. Look at these rolls here. Almost again 1,000 with the attack. Ridiculous. And then almost 10% additional attack bonus from our red gems. It's lunacy. I showed you this Valara. I'll show you again. Just pause if you guys want to see every specific piece of gear. Some real Looney Tunes stuff. Maxed out exclusives left and right. We got an incredible build on this Eloin, and I even put her in morale. Actually ran out of a couple of these of those Darkfalls, and that's with endless tests of resources. But when you got to spend you got to spend a billion gold, it is what it is. Crazy Ireless, and also we got every meta unit, right? Every meta healer is being brought in here. Blah 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 blah. It's not even close to enough. So that is the Bulwark run I put together. Here is Spellbane. This is where you need physical damage. You're gonna have to use a lot more melee DPS for a fight like this. You just don't have the same quality options for platformers, so just a way weaker start. You're also not gonna bring a Cyrus, so you're gonna see how quickly this stuff can fall apart. I'll let you see the placements really quickly, and then I'm probably gonna toss this on pretty quick speed. Going in with Ardia here. Now Leia, essentially placed to boost everyone. I got my Kagiri there. But Kagiri is able to hit the boss a lot just for any extra free moment and to keep his rage up as much as possible. He's got that very annoying range when he's not ulting of just a single tile. Got Carnelian to spam exclusively on Hearts, who's going to be the best tank for this. We got Araka coming in along Shen. I got every unit out, and it's just, yeah, we just don't have the best options to bring in for the physical stuff. I will say there's probably going to be a decent bit figured out by the community how to get involved more platform units, or frankly, the devs are just going to release more physical platform units with good AoE for this. But even still, I mean, this is all just so goofy. The entire content of the game is so unprepared to deal with this. It's nothing about the players or under farming or anything. It's just releasing content where the proper solutions are completely absent from what we have in the game currently. You know, I mean, look at this. So here's our first thing. We're getting up to what? By the time this Relentless ends, I'll be at 5 or 6k. You really get it, right? Let's actually go ahead and you can see. Just passing 6k. It's off to a good start, but it does fall apart pretty dang fast. Let me pause it and throw this thing on 2x so you don't have to sit through this too much. Actually, I don't know how VLC works. I don't know if that's 2x. Sped up, you can see. The other thing is, like, normally I would hate to speed up content, especially if it's one of the first times. I mean, I've made a few videos, but one of the first times I'm showing the content. But there's not that much to see here. It's like, I'm telling you, there's not that much timing strategy. Like I said, little clever things will be figured out. Probably some by me, many more things by the community as a whole. But there's not much to this fight. It's not that thoughtful. It's nothing like APOC. It's like, hey, we're throwing a bunch of stuff at you and we're dealing a lot of damage to you. Can you kill all the stuff we're throwing at you, and can you not die? That's just it. It's just mobs swarming at you. They also still have not found a way to turn off this jumping around map thing, which makes me freaking nauseous when I play this. It just sucks. All right, so already we're going to finish phase 1 there. The second round is ending. Here you can see the damage I'm putting out during the second vulnerability phase. Already some people are reaching. We do not have the same level of AoE we had before, so we can't even make it the whole time. Now I want you to focus on Hearts. So we only have here, 2 promotions, right? So you can call this phase 2, you can call it phase 3. It's round 3, and this is all it's going to take, because you know, the ultimate rage regen Hearts, the strongest ever, cannot get his shields up fast enough. We don't have a good shielder support that can do it. So there's nothing he can do. because these come back around too quickly. There really is no solution. Also, look how hard everyone's already getting hit because I didn't bring the same level of healing that I did with the other one. The other one I brought my Ireless, my Eloin, my Narissa, the super meta healer squad. Here we still got some really good stuff. We've got the Leia, the Eunomia, Carnelian, Tallulah. I've got options, right? But it's not the same level, and already things fall apart. So there, I'm going to toss this shield on right when the focus strike is coming for hearts. Let's see this hit. 280k shield. I just put up a 280k shield. It's not going to be enough. Already the shield has been completely blasted through with 2 ticks. They're 134k. So you're getting 5 ticks of 134k already at just 2 promotions, just round 3. Already. So you heal back up another 134. You just can't keep up with this. There's just not enough. So we do survive the first one, but here's the kicker, right? Look how quickly he's getting his rage up. There's going to be another focus strike. Each round comes with 2 focus strikes. So here's the second focus strike, and look, you'll see the hearts build. All the rage in the world, it's not enough. You know, it's even with Tallulah, even with Leia, it's not enough. So here comes the hit. There's no shield up. 134k. 134k. We get wiped away, right? I'm at a Carnelian. You can just see it falling apart with this god build. So what do you think is going to happen in the next phase when it jumps from 134k to, I think it's 160? What do you think is going to happen? I'll let you watch and see. What do you think is going to happen? Let's slow it down real nice and let's see what's going to happen. Don't get the shield up in time. There's the big hit. 162k and down he goes. Boom, boom. Because you can't tank one hit at a time and make up for it with the shields at the beginning with the Carnelian dots, so on and so on. Our boy is cooked and the run is over. And I'll tell you, this was an excellent physical DPS run. Now, coming in over 20k is excellent. But, you know, before you know it, they cycle through and you're going to get wiped. Here comes a focus strike. We don't have nearly enough damage dealt. Completely off pace. This focus strike's going to come in. He's just going to pulse around and start killing everyone. Everyone. And our run disappears and it's over. We didn't do it in time, so now he gets the chained vision, which you haven't seen before. But this is, if you don't get wiped in time and you don't deal damage fast enough, a little bit of this, he throws all these guys out, and then the run is over. Because of course it is. We got our Carnelian dot save, we got our Kagiri save, but we got our next Annihilation Pulse, and here we go. Kind of a testament to the resilience of Kagiri. There you go, though, 23.8k, and that is a really good number. I'll give you some source of comparison here. Let me pop this open. If we go to the total leaderboard, right, you know, already we're down to 30k with number 4. If we scroll here, we beat the number put up by number 7, number 8, same as number 9. You get it, right? This is about as primo as it's going to get outside of the absolute tippy top. This is like a total god tier, incredibly meta Ferrari situation. Perfect situation. And we're cooked. So let me show you here. This is the Araka build, 113.2k Araka. You're not going to ever see higher than that. Max out exclusive. Sorry, I know I sound like bitter and resigned, but it's because I don't think it takes the biggest brain in the world to realize how good this content could have been if they just put a little more thought into it, right? It wouldn't be much. It really wouldn't. Or maybe if this was too hard to figure out, make Matrix 1 easier. Make Matrix 1 so the top players like Sandra and then this guy on the top here, the Slayers guy, make it so they're already dealing, instead of 208k and 103k, make it so they're dealing 220k and 210k, right? Then at least they're in the ballpark. You can see the trajectory as the game develops that they're going to hit it. And then if they want to release a mind-numbingly difficult thing like this, do it in 3 months and call it Matrix 2. Right? But as it stands now, the super top people are going to be disappointed because there's just a clear ceiling on what they can achieve, and 95+% of players aren't going to engage with this at all. Here's the crazy Ardia I put together. I mean, look at this. That's a 1070 roll from augmentation. Looney Tunes stuff. It's ridiculous. So here's Carnelian. I mean, you can just see speed and rageogen through the tush, man. Crazy stuff. Now onto Leia, one of the only units not in Wings of Grace, but still crazy rolls. Perfect exclusive. I mean, everything's invested in. Crazy Neza. You also can't be repeating gear for this, right? So you need to be able to put together like 20 completely wacky builds. If you want a shot at still failing at this the way we did here, look at this Kagiri build. I mean, this is some proper test server stuff, right? This is, you know, this should dominate any content, and it can't even be a whisper's distance, right? 75k is not even 25% of the way to 320k. Finally, we got Hearts here. Hearts at 49%, boosted healing, everything. He's got the Unshaken Will, so he can get those extra heals back on himself really quickly. And even still, right? It's not even close. With Leia boosts, with Tallulah, nothing. Not even close. So the final thing I want to show you is, you know, everyone's top team. If we go back to the global server here, you can see Bulwark is consistently between 50% more damage and even over 100% more damage than Spellbane. I mean, look at this guy putting up 63k and then 30k. Total God squad. I'm sure this is a God tier player. I'm sure he's also a Kraken. And even still, you know, he's checking every box and he's putting up 94k. And you can just see here 58.9 and then only 21.6, so on and so on and so on. It's all the same. I mean, scroll down and look who's in the 80s. I mean, we're talking 41.6 and 7. And all these guys still need Cyrus. All of them still need Cyrus. And that is where I want to wrap things up. So here you go, taking on the Bulwark with the exact same squad, all our crazy A5 madness, all the same gears, still over 1.2 million BP. The only change is we took out Cyrus, we put in Hearts, and what do you think's gonna happen? I mean, we can deal damage better because we have more AoE than we do in the physical melee version when we're taking on Spellbane, but Hearts is just gonna die, because of course he is. Same deploys, same everything, right? I'll fast forward to the end, but I just want you to see, like, I didn't change anything. I got my Demi, my Ingrid, my Virna, same healers and everything lined up, crazy healers. And then we got our Honora, and we got our Beatrix, we got our Valara absolutely going to town. Here's now, instead of Cyrus, it's going to be Hearts. Let's fast forward till we're at like phase 2. So here we're end of phase 2 into phase 3. Damage is still right there on point. Not having Cyrus as the Lord changes things slightly, but it's really not the end of the world. The big thing is just the dying, right? So 4.5 minutes in here, and we're already going to be short on time. Let's go here. This is the last one Hearts is able to tank, so you get a good perspective. So here's going to come the Focus Strike. We're at nearly 31k frags. Here it comes on Hearts. He's got that absolutely enormous shield. Now the shield is gone in one hit. Now it's hitting us already for 162k. 162k. And if it was to come back around again, we would be screwed. We are able to deal enough damage against the Bulwark version, so when it's the magic DPS fight, that we don't have to deal with it again. But this is where obviously the run would fall apart, and did fall apart when it was the Spellbane fight. But here we can get there before the Focus Strike's coming. So here's the Relentless Evolution. We got the 30 seconds of vulnerabilities. Up to a pretty solid number here as that ends, coming up on 37k. And now let's see it. Let's see it. So this is the same exact squad, but no Cyrus. I'm putting up crazy numbers without a Cyrus, but this is like complete, you know, meta monster setup. That's what we're calling it. Meta monsters. Everyone cranked to the frickin' moon. Here comes the Annihilation Pulse. Soon after, we're going to get the Focus Strike. Right now, Hearts is ready with the shield. Everything's perfect. Elwyn's ready. Wood Elf's ready. And what's going to happen? So here's going to be the Focus Strike now. We're completely prepared. Shield is up. There's Elwyn and the Wood Elf. But you'll see Total Onslaught is coming. Now focus on Hearts. Got that big shield. Can't last forever. Second it's gone, boom, 190k. That was the very end of the Focus Strike. Like I said, it comes in multiple ticks every 2 seconds or so. So there it came, and down he goes. And now the run obviously is over. Boom, full frickin' wipe. So there you have it. I know this is kind of a different kind of video. I'm gonna edit it down along with my editor Mitchell, hopefully to make this as concise as possible. But I just don't have that much more to say. I'm incredibly disappointed, and I hate being this negative in a video, but it's like, I don't know, am I even going to hop on my account this weekend and do this? I mean, probably. I still like the game. I still feel like it's my job, but I mean, is anyone jazzed about this content? Tell me, are you in like the Shire or Mad or Dragon Slayers? Are you excited about this content, or you just feel like this is the dumbest thing ever, and you just know in a month or two they're going to sell the new Cultist Lord or the new Northerner Lord, and it's going to be the only way or something. Or they're going to have to nerf it, and that's like that's what other games do, right? And this game has been better about that, you know, releasing such overtuned stuff and then just having to nerf it and or sell the solution. But that's what's coming, guys. There you go. Total Meta Monsters craziness. And still, it's nothing. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it to the end of the video and you appreciate this content, be sure to thank Behemoth and all the Dragon Slayer Forerunner guys for helping with all the research and everything and help me put everything together. I've been traveling in New York, Massachusetts, and New Jersey the past 9 days. I only just got back to Utah today. They helped so much with this stuff. It's amazing. Thank you to R-Type for trimming the footage a little bit because I didn't have time to clean it up. And of course, thank you to Mitchell for editing this entire video. If you made it this far, please do subscribe to the channel. We're about to hit 48,000 subs. That's awesome. I've been Fastidious. Share with your mother, and I'll see you real soon. Bye.
Fastidious.